Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is hopefully going to be a short, quick little video. I just wanted to show off some stuff that I got in the mail recently, one of which is something that's part of a toy line that was announced like a year ago and was supposed to be released I think in the second half of last year, but for whatever reason just kept getting pushed back further and further and further until finally about a month ago they finally started coming out. It's a new Goosebumps toy line of figures by Trick or Treat Studios. I've talked about Trick or Treat Studios before when I did that unboxing video a few months ago of my replica haunted mask, and one of the masks I showed off my video was the Trick or Treat Studios version of the haunted mask, the episode version of it, so I've definitely talked about them before. But they have a new Goosebumps toy line, so one of the figures I have from that is this. This is the haunted mask one. I don't have the full line yet. I know there's been some things going on recently where they were being listed as out of stock and whatnot, but they did have this one in stock, and I think some of the other ones might be in stock now. So if you're trying to get these, maybe make your move now. But because money's been a little tight with me right now, I didn't get the full line. I mean, I just had to have repairs done to my car recently, and rent. I had another thing that was being repaired and everything, and just everyday regular expenditures and whatnot. So I just decided for now I'll start with Haunted Mask, because at least the Haunted Mask is my favorite episode and it's my favorite book. That naturally that was going to be my first choice for the figure line. So here's the figure. I haven't opened it yet. I'm not even sure if I will open it, but as of right now it's still in the box, and as you can see, looks very much like the Tim Jacobus version of the character that you see on the book cover. We have the sculpture of Carly Beth on the stick there. We have this thing, this little stand thing with the book cover in there. This kind of reminds me of those McFarlane figures that came out in the early 2000s. They had like a Edward Scissorhands one that I had. There was also a Chucky figure. There was also a Freddy Krueger. I think there may have also been a Michael Myers. So, but they were figures that came with like a stand thing similar to that with a poster of the movie. So that's kind of what this reminds me of. But yeah, I like the packaging for this. Looks like the book cover. Yeah, it even has the book number on the side there. So for Haunted Mask, it was book 11, R.L. Stine. Yeah. Here's the back. We have the Tim Jacobus artwork right there, and here's the other figures. Hopefully I'll get these down the line. I would like to get the, the Slappy one or the Mummy and some of the others. So yeah, I definitely want to get those down the line. But for now, I figured I'll just stick with Haunted Mask, and I'll worry about the other ones later. So yes, here is the new Trick or Treat Studios Haunted Mask figure as part of their new Goosebumps figure line. Next thing I wanted to show off is a first-time purchase for me for this particular company. It's a company called Terror Vision, who sells like various horror DVD, Blu-ray, and other horror-related stuff on their site. They have a new VHS release of The Monster Squad, and that's this right here. I opened this copy. I did buy another copy because I wanted to have a copy to keep sealed. This copy was already partially open, so I just opened it anyway. But anyway, as you can see, here's the cover. Really kind of cool, and yeah, I mean, it does say Terror Vision Home Video, and it does have a Paramount logo there. This is under license from Paramount. It does say under license from Paramount Home Entertainment, so this is a legit release. This is legit, but you have to buy it through Terror Vision's site. And just for comparison, I do have the original Monster Squad VHS here. I've had this for a long time, but figured just for comparison, here's the original copy, which for the longest time, this was like the only copy of the movie you could get until like the DVD. Because bear in mind, this movie didn't really do particularly well back in the day, so I think it just sort of disappeared for a while, and then over the years, people started rediscovering it on TV and VHS and became this great cult classic that people love now. And then now you can get it on DVD and Blu-ray, but for the longest time, this original VHS released by Vestron Home Video was like the only copy of the movie you could get. I think even when my dad got me this copy for Christmas one year, like even he had a hard time getting this. Like you can go on eBay right now, even used copies of this movie are being sold for a lot of money now. So yeah, this is sort of rare, given that this was like, at least until this new 2025 one, this was like the only, not only the only VHS release, I think it may have been the only release of the movie out there. I mean, maybe there was a Laserdisc, I don't know. But yeah, this was really the only common release of the movie in the pre-DVD era. So, but anyway, just for comparison, yeah, look at that. I mean, obviously this original one has a better cover because it shows more of the artwork, but this is still cool. I still like this. The thing I do like about this new one, given that it's like under license from Paramount, I do like that they at least made the cover look like an old Paramount release. I'll use this Grease release for an example. I know, completely different genre, but it'll serve what I'm trying to talk about. But like, look at the covers here. So we have like the artwork there, and then a title, and then the credits. Pretty much what they did with this Monster Squad VHS here. Look at the side. Title, and then down here, Paramount logo. The back, images, summary, Paramount logo at the bottom there, and then all that legalese stuff, right? And then look at the top. Even the top looks similar. You got the title on the side there, and then the Paramount logo down there, and the runtime and all that stuff there. So yeah, there's that. And then let's take a look at the inside. This opens like this, sort of in a clamshell fashion. We have Dracula right there. We have some logos right here, but here's our cassette. But even the cassette itself is done in the sort of Paramount style. Here, let me just take out that grease tape for a second. Just look at these side by side for a second, right? Pretty similar looking labels, right? And then look at the side labels. Pretty much the same. That's kind of cool. I like that. I like when they're doing retro. Not only are they coming out with like a VHS release in the 2020s, but I like that when they try to make it look in the style of how these releases would have looked like back in the day, because that's been sort of my little main issue when they do these sort of VHS style releases in recent years, especially like on DVD or Blu-ray or whatever. They come out with these covers that are meant to look like a VHS cover, but they're clearly not being done in the style of the VHS cover it would have had back in the day. Like, case in point, they did these Blu-ray releases a few years ago for like Jaws and E.T. They were Universal releases, and they were in these clamshell VHS style cases, but it had the Blu-ray discs inside. But the cases themselves clearly did not look like the original VHS covers from back in the day, and that's sort of what kind of takes me away from that. I would have liked it to be done in the style of what that cover would have looked like back in the day. And that's one of the things I do like about this. Like, you know, even though it's by a smaller independent label, they at least, because it's under license from Paramount, tried to give it a cover that was definitely more in the style of a vintage Paramount release. So I think that's kind of cool. And, you know, obviously VHS is not going to be coming back at a greater scale for a number of reasons. I mean, it was a very hit and miss format to begin with. Obviously, we have formats now that are way better than VHS, but even the physical media world in itself nowadays is very niche, so I would never expect VHS to come back at a full scale. But it's just, I just find it so interesting that these smaller independent labels will do these exclusive VHS releases. Like, case in point, you know, last year they came out with this exclusive VHS release of Terrifier 2 on VHS, and then earlier this year they did the same for Terrifier 3. I actually got these from Walmart. I was only getting these if Walmart had them. I wasn't going to get these off eBay. I wanted to buy them literally for the joke of saying, hey, it's 2024. I went to Walmart and bought a VHS. It's 2025. I went to Walmart and bought a VHS. That for me is much more amusing than saying, hey, I bought a VHS in 2024 or 2025 off eBay. Okay, who isn't doing that these days if you're a VHS collector? But yeah, so I just thought that was just very amusing to just find these. Because keep in mind, I haven't even seen these movies yet, believe it or not. Hopefully somewhere down the line I will. I know they're available like on streaming. I would definitely watch these movies. I just bought them for the joke of saying, hey, I went to Walmart in the 2020s and I bought movies on VHS. I just like, when was the last time you could say that? When was the last time you can say you went to a major retailer and they had something on VHS? It's been quite a good number of years. So I like that. And yeah, and I love that that cover is done in like the style of an old Paramount release. Like, case in point, like, you know, here's my favorite movie cover to any movie. This VHS release of Creature from the Black Lagoon. I love this cover. This is my favorite cover of any movie. If they did like a Steelbook Blu-ray release with this cover, I would buy it in a second. I have it on Blu-ray, but if they did like a Steelbook release with that cover, I would buy it in an instant. And it's just sad. Like, let's say they decided to do like a VHS style Blu-ray DVD release of this movie. It wouldn't be this cover. It would probably be the old poster. I mean, I'm typically a poster guy for the video covers myself, kind of guy. But I love these old 90s style VHS covers they did for the Universal Monsters. This is my favorite cover of any movie. I would love to see this brought back for like a Blu-ray Steelbook or something. That'd be so cool. But anyway, I'm going to kind of wrap it there. You know, this was just a nice short little video. I wanted to show this off. I mean, I think this is probably my favorite of the things like that. But I do love that I got this Haunted Mask figure too. That's definitely cool. I definitely want to get some of the other figures down the line. I do still have some videos planned out. There was a Blu-ray set for one of my favorite movies that I bought a few months ago that I've been meaning to do like a showcase on, sort of similar to that Terminator video I did. So hopefully I'll get to work on that. And I have a few other things planned, but I wanted to show that stuff off real quick. So anyways, if you stayed for the whole video, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Hoping to have more content soon. Stay tuned for that. Have a good day. Have a safe weekend and stay safe.